Okay.
explain this to my boyfriend. He was like,
Oh dear. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is type A blood. Okay? Type A blood. So, okay, let's go through this. So you have 4 different blood types: type A, type B, type AB, and type O. You have antigens, which are basically on the surface of a red blood cell, and antigens are kind of like the identity. It's kind of the mask of the red blood cell. Like, what do they identify as? So for my red blood cells, they'd identify as Varasha blood. Flora's red blood cells would identify as Flora's blood. But, more, and Kayla's would identify as Kayla's blood, which we don't want any. No, I'm kidding. But more universally, that says, oh, I am your blood. But if I'm type O, and what are your guys' blood type?
I'm a donor. I'm a universal donor.
So you're type O. So my blood would actually be, what do you call that? Cooperative with yours, because we're both type O. So it actually doesn't differentiate between Varash's blood and Kayla's blood. It's like, oh, we're type O blood. So that's kind of where antigens come from. This is for the sake of these people, too. Antibodies are things in your immune system. So I'm going to draw some antibodies. So that's what these things are. These things will destroy anything that is not a moke, sorry, that's my nickname, that is not Varasha, or that is not, or that is not Kayla. So your antibodies will destroy anything that is not you, because it thinks that it's dangerous. So right now we're going to talk about type A blood. So on the surface of our type A blood cell, we have, so any questions over antibodies? Okay, so we have type A.
Wait, I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
So the antibodies are, and just to clarify this,
Uh-huh.
antibodies are made in response to antigens, correct? Or do I have that wrong? Antigens
Yeah.
are made in response to
No. Antibodies are the immune system. They're made in response to antigen.
Okay, that's what I
But you have normal antigens in your body, which are like, says, oh, I'm me. But then if you have something else that's not you, if you have like a germ antigen or the wrong kind of blood type antigen, then you have an issue. Then your antibodies will attack it. This is why you have blood transfusion reactions, and you also have
rejection and
organ rejection, yes.
learning about that.
Oh, fabulous. All those terrible things. So if we have type A blood, what are the antigens going to be?
B. Oh, no, those are
Antigens, yeah. So your face, the antigens are going to be A's. What are your antibodies going to be? They're going to be,
Attack the A's in the A blood.
yep. So, yeah, so like what Kayla said, if these were all A's, okay, I'm just going to pretend these are A's, which would like never happen in a healthy person, then these antibodies would attack the A blood. Okay, so they have to be B. They attack anything that is B blood. So if just pretend I'm type A, Kayla's also type A, and we're like, okay, our blood can mix. We can be like blood, what do you call it?
Blood sister.
Blood sisters, that's what it's called. But if Floor has B blood, and so if I get a red blood cell from you, and it's type B, then my antibodies will attack it. So if this is yours, and you have B, then mine would attack yours if your blood was in mine. This is a terrible. Yeah.
So you said that antibodies were in response to the antigens?
Yeah, antibodies respond to the antigens. Okay, so that is type A, right here. Next one we have is type B. Which one is next? Oh, AB. Okay, so now we have type AB blood. So type AB blood, what kind of antigens would be on the surface of type AB?
None. For AB.
For AB? The surface?
AB.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're good. You would have A's and B's, A's and B's, okay?
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're fine. So the antigens, I know what you were thinking. You're thinking antibody. So the antigens would be A's and B's. But the antibody portion of it, you would have nothing. Nothing in there. Because if you had A, that would attack your A antigen. But you have nothing in your antibodies.
So there is no antigen or antibodies?
No, nope. So you can see up there, I didn't put any in the picture because there's none. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Fabulous.
Sorry, I don't mean to talk for you too far, but.
No, I'm too.
I think you talk enough for all of us. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Okay, you don't have to apologize. We're kids. I know myself. So, there's that.
Alrighty-o. Type B. Okay, so we have type B blood. Okay, what kind of antibodies, or antigens, I'm sorry, now I'm tripped up. What kind of antigens would be on the surface of type B blood? Yeah. B, I got the sign language.
I'm teaching myself science too.
Cool. So if you had type B antibodies, what would be the antigens? A's, yeah, it would be opposite. Okay? So that's with B. B blood, B antigens, A antibodies. So the last one we have is type O. So type O blood. What is it? What kind of antigens does it? No. Yeah, what kind of antigens does it have?
Which one?
Type O. Yeah. So type O actually has no antigens, but go on.
Or no,
Donate.
they can donate.
Yeah. Yeah, we're actually going to go into that. So type O, oh shoot. I should have hit that with type AB. So type O is a universal donor.
Because they don't have any antigens on them. So if
Exact-
they go somewhere and they don't have any antigens on them, okay.
Yeah. So type O don't have any antigens on them. They're kind of like secretive, you know. They don't have any identity. So when this type O blood goes into anybody, you know, someone with type A, someone with type AB, or someone with type B blood, when someone with type O donates and gives it to somebody else, type O doesn't cause a reaction in that person.
So it's antibodies
Yeah.
would, they would not react to it?
What do you mean? Whose antibodies?
Like the AB would not react to the type of.
Yeah, because
No.
it doesn't have anything to react to. Yeah. However, type O can only accept from type O. Because if type O blood, if someone with type A, B, or AB blood gives to someone with type O, if type O blood gets another type of blood that's not O, its antigens will attack it. Yeah. So we're the universal donors, we're the universal givers, but we cannot have anything except for share with each other.
And then 8B is the universal acceptor.
Yes. Also known as recipient. So acceptor, recipient. Yeah. So type AB,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. So type AB is the, since it has no antibodies, so type O had no antigens, but type AB, we're going back to AB.
AB had no antigens, so there's nothing, or they have no antibodies.
Yeah, type
So-
AB has no antibodies. So,
That makes sense.
yeah. So someone with type AB, because their antibodies don't attack A or B, then they can take any blood. So these are the universal recipients, also known as receivers. And what was the word you used, Kayla? Acceptors? Is the one you said? Acceptor. Okay. So receivers. All these words. Hey, I don't blame you. So that's why type AB can receive anything, is because their antibodies don't attack anything. Okay? So,
That actually makes a lot more sense, like,
yay, pictures. Well, hopefully. Oh, thank you. The next portion, we're going to go over RH factor. RH is also known as antigen D, but we're just going to call it RH. Just a fun fact, you see anything of antigen D. So usually you are like O negative, O positive, and all of this. So you'll have a combination of a letter and a plus or a negative. But for the sake of this lesson, we're just going to go with, I'm just going to go over the positive and the negative, okay? So with Rh positive, we're going to go over that one first because it's easiest. If you are Rh positive, it means that you are positive, which means you do have Rh antigens. And if you have Rh antigens, your antibodies are not going to attack anything Rh. Your antibodies are not going to attack Rh. They're just going to be fine. Okay? That's Rh positive. So people with Rh positive blood typically don't have a lot of problems. It's people who are Rh negative who tend to struggle. So Rh negative now. I know this is a little... No kidding. So if you're Rh negative, this means you do not have Rh antigens. And if you don't have Rh antigens, then you have Rh antibodies. And these attack anything that's Rh, that has an Rh antigen on it. See, this one doesn't have any antigens, it's fine. But if you have something that is Rh positive in your body, this is not good. And
What's an example other than a child?
that's the only thing. Unless you're getting a blood transfusion, having a child is the only one. Except for the first child, so this is an Rh positive as if you had a baby. The first child, this wouldn't be a problem. You can be an Rh negative mother and have an Rh positive baby during your first pregnancy and be just fine. The issue is, because when the baby comes out, when you give birth, that's when your blood mixes with your baby's. And then your Rh antibodies are like, oh, we identified that this is a threat. This child inside you, it's Rh positive. This is a threat. So, but the baby's already out. So Rh negative mother, the first pregnancy is fine. Second pregnancy is the issue. Because the blood has already mixed with the first baby, the first child, your Rh antigens will detect the second's baby and attack it. Because this is an antibody, this is the antigen, so it will attack. Yeah, every child after. So the first child is safe because blood doesn't mix till later. But after the blood mixes, your antibodies remember the threat. They remember the mixing and the threat and everything. So that's why they attack all the Rh positive babies after. Yeah, it really you have it, but it doesn't become activated until labor.
Well, it's just because of your blood.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with hormones and stuff. It's just, or like if, like in my case, I lost my first child, but with the DNC, the baby's blood mixed with mine. So then my second and my third, then I was Rh negative.
Yeah.
My body was attacking disease. So it becomes an issue after that. So, and everyone after that. So as soon as I find out I'm pregnant, I have to go get the shot.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. 10 years ago. We good. I was in a terrible spot in my life.
All right.
I'm a much better person.
All right, well, that's good to know. So, do we have any questions over RH? No? Okay. I'm going to stop this then.